They say if you hear whistling in the woods at night, don't respond. I didn't listen, and now my best friend is gone. It started last October. My friends Jordan, Nate, and I decided to go on a weekend camping trip in northern New Mexico, near Carson National Forest. Jordan was Navajo and had grown up nearby. He warned us before we went.
Don't mock anything spiritual. Don't take anything from the forest. And if you hear whistling at night, no matter what, don't respond.
We laughed. Nate even joked, "What if it's a sexy forest witch whistling at me?" Jordan didn't smile.
That's how they get you.
Day one was normal. We hiked out 7 miles, found a great clearing by a stream, and set up camp. We cooked, shared beers, and told stories by the fire. The kind of memories you want to make. The first night, we passed out fast. Around 2 a.m., I woke up needing to pee. I stepped out of the tent into the freezing dark. The moon was barely out. Then I heard it. A whistle. 3 notes. Low, like someone trying not to wake the whole forest. It came from deep in the trees. I froze. Then I heard it again, a little closer. Jordan's warning echoed in my head, and I hurried back into the tent, zipped it shut, and stayed quiet. Nate stirred beside me. "You good?" He mumbled. "Yeah," I whispered. "Go back to sleep." The next morning, I didn't tell them, but Jordan seemed off, real quiet, eyes scanning the tree line. He asked if we heard anything weird. I just shrugged. Nate made fun of him, did some stupid mocking whistle while we were cooking eggs. Jordan snapped. "You think it's funny? That's how people disappear." Nate rolled his eyes. "Relax, man. I thought you said not to respond to it, not that we can't joke." Jordan didn't speak the rest of the day. That night, everything fell apart. We were sitting by the fire, low flames crackling, when we heard it again. That same whistle. 3 notes. This time close, maybe 20 feet beyond the tree line. I looked at Jordan. His eyes were wide. He mouthed, "Don't move." Nate laughed nervously. "You invited a Skinwalker to the party, Mason?" Then he whistled back, the same 3 notes. Jordan lunged and smacked his arm. "You just told it you're listening, idiot." Then the forest went silent. No wind, no bugs, not even the crackle of our fire. Just dead, unnatural silence. Then came footsteps, crunching leaves, not hurried, not hiding, heavy, something walking on 2 legs. Then a voice called out from the dark. "Jordan, Mason, help me. I'm lost." It was Nate's voice. But Nate was right there, frozen beside us, mouth open. The voice called again. Closer. "Mason, I'm hurt. Please." I whispered, "That's you. It's using your voice." Nate was pale now. I didn't say anything. Then a stick cracked behind our tent. I turned just in time to see something move, fast, from tree to tree. Too fast. It was tall, thin, pale. Its joints moved wrong, like they bent too far. We all backed toward the fire. "Don't run," Jordan said. "It wants you to panic." But Nate panicked anyway. He took off into the trees. "No," Jordan shouted. We ran after him. The forest swallowed him instantly. Branches tore at my face. The whistle echoed all around us now, coming from every direction. Then we heard Nate scream. One long, blood-curdling scream. Cut short. Then silence. Then the whistle again. But this time, it sounded wet. Gurgled. like something whistling with blood in its throat. Jordan grabbed my shoulder. We need to get back. It has him now. We made it to camp and threw everything into our bags. No sleep, no fire, just waited for daylight, knives in hand, backs against each other. At one point, I saw a shadow standing just outside the firelight. Still, watching, whispering. It had Nate's voice. "Guys, I'm fine now. I'm back. Let me in the tent." We stayed silent. The shadow didn't move for hours. Then it slowly walked backward into the trees, never turning around. At dawn, Nate's backpack was sitting by the fire. Inside it was his phone, still recording. The last video on it was 11 seconds long. It showed him running, then falling, then something stepping into the frame. It looked like a deer at first, until it stood up on two legs. Its face was Nate's, but wrong, stretched, hollow-eyed, smiling too wide. Then the video ended. We called search and rescue from the ranger station. They found no body, no footprints, nothing, just Nate's flannel shirt, folded neatly on a stump, with a whistle carved from bone resting on top of it. Jordan told them nothing, just that Nate got separated. When they left, Jordan turned to me and said, "That whistle is your death sentence. If you hear it again, run. Don't follow it. Don't respond. And whatever you do, don't listen to the voice wearing your friend's skin." It's been 5 days. I'm home now, hundreds of miles away. Last night, around 2:00 a.m., I heard a soft whistle from the woods behind my house. 3 notes. Then Nate's voice whispered, "Mason, let me in." I always thought Skinwalker stories were a joke, campfire material, until last year. Until that trip with my brother Eli. It was supposed to be a simple 3-day hike through Apache Sitgreaves National Forest in Arizona. We both loved camping, and Eli had just gotten out of the army. I figured we'd catch up, eat bad trail food, and swap dumb stories like old times. It started normal. On day 1, we parked the truck, hiked 6 miles into the backcountry, and set up our tent by a quiet stream. No signal, no other hikers, just forest. That night, something strange happened. At around 2 a.m., I woke up to Eli whispering. I thought he was on the phone, but he didn't have his phone with him. No signal anyway. I sat up. He was outside the tent. I unzipped the flap and found him squatting by the fire pit we'd put out earlier, just staring into the ashes, whispering something I couldn't make out. "Eli," I said. He didn't move. "Eli, what the hell are you doing?" He turned slowly. His face was pale, blank, like he didn't recognize me. "You heard it too, right?" He whispered. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, he didn't remember anything. Said he'd probably been sleepwalking. Tried to laugh it off. I didn't push it. We kept hiking. But Eli started acting weird. He'd stop randomly and just stare off into the trees. His voice sounded different, flat, slower. He wasn't cracking jokes like normal. And he kept saying things like, "Did you hear that whistle? There's something watching us." By the second night, I was on edge. We made camp by a cliffside and cooked ramen on the portable stove. Eli barely ate. He just sat there, listening. At around 11 p.m., we heard a sound in the woods like snapping branches, then soft footsteps circling the tent. I grabbed the flashlight and unzipped the tent. Nothing. But when I shined the light into the trees, I saw 2 yellow eyes. They didn't blink. "Caleb," Eli said behind me, "don't chase it." I turned around. He was already outside, standing completely still, barefoot, his eyes wide. And then he smiled. "You'll scare it away if you chase it. Let it come." My blood went cold. That wasn't Eli's voice. Not quite. I dragged him back into the tent and zipped it shut. He fell asleep instantly. I stayed awake, shaking, listening to soft footsteps walking around our tent until morning. The next day, Eli was different. He didn't speak at all. When I asked if he was okay, he just nodded slowly, but his eyes looked glassy, like something was wearing him. I decided to cut the trip short. We packed our gear, and I took us off the trail to shortcut back to the truck. That was a mistake. We got lost. For hours, we wandered through thick woods that all looked the same. Every time I tried the GPS on my watch, it glitched. Eli didn't help. He just followed me silently. At one point, I looked behind me and he was gone. Just vanished. I spun around, calling his name. Nothing. Then I heard it. "Caleb," came a whisper from deep in the trees. It was Eli's voice, but distorted, wet, like someone trying to mimic him through a broken speaker. "Caleb, I found a shortcut." I ran. The whisper followed me. Closer. Faster. Then suddenly, Eli stepped out from behind a tree, smiling. "There you are," he said. Voice perfectly normal. I froze. Something felt wrong. His shirt was different. Clean. No sweat or mud. I looked down at his shoes. The laces were untied. When we left camp, he had triple knotted them. Army habit. This wasn't him. "You okay, Caleb?" it asked. "You look like you've seen a ghost." I turned and ran. Behind me, I heard it let out a screech, like a deer being torn in half. I don't know how long I ran, but I eventually found a forest ranger station. I was crying, panicking. They called in a search team. Eli was never found. 2 weeks later, I got a call from a blocked number. A voice that sounded exactly like Eli said, "You shouldn't have left me." It's been a year. Sometimes, I wake up at 2 a.m. to hear scratching outside my window, and a voice that sounds like my brother saying, "Let me in." I don't care if you believe me or not, but the thing that knocked on my door 3 nights ago, it sounded like my father, and he's been dead for 2 years. I live with my grandmother now. Ever since the accident, my dad died in a car crash when I was 15. My mom couldn't afford to keep me after that, and Grandma Rose took me in. Her place is in Monument Valley, dry, remote, quiet. She's Navajo, and people around here take old stories seriously. She warned me about the knocking before she got sick. If something knocks after midnight, don't answer. And don't speak back, especially if it sounds like someone you know. She was serious. Said Skinwalkers mimic voices, that they wander through the land at night, testing who's foolish enough to invite them in. I thought it was just tribal folklore to scare kids, but not anymore. 3 nights ago, Grandma was in the hospital for a minor surgery. I had the house to myself. I stayed up late, scrolling my phone, eating chips, being a typical teenager. At 1:03 a.m., the first knock came. 3 soft taps at the back door. I froze. We don't have neighbors for miles, and no one uses the back door. I waited. Then I heard it, a voice. "Jeremy, it's me. Open up, son." My heart stopped. It was my dad's voice. Calm. Familiar. Exactly the way it used to sound. But he was gone. I saw his body in the casket. I didn't move. I couldn't breathe. Another knock. a little louder. Ja, you okay in there? It's cold out here. My mouth went dry. My legs locked. It sounded exactly right. But no footsteps. No motion sensor lights turning on. Nothing but wind. I backed away from the kitchen. Sat in the dark living room, heart pounding. Then it said something I'll never forget. You remember what I told you before the crash, right? That I'd always come back. How did it know that? No one else heard him say that. Not the EMTs. Not even Mom. I covered my ears and rocked back and forth like a kid, whispering, "You're not real. You're not real." Then silence. I stayed awake all night. At sunrise, I checked the back door. There were no footprints in the dust. The next night, it came back. This time at the front door. 3 knocks. Firmer. "Jeremy, it's Dad. I brought Grandma home." I checked the hospital app. She was still admitted. "Come on, Jill. I'm hungry. Let me in. I'll cook us something." I nearly vomited. My dad never cooked. Not even once. It wasn't him. I turned the TV on loud, curled up under a blanket, and waited. The knocking stopped, but I could see the shape of someone standing outside the curtain, perfectly still. I didn't sleep. Last night, it escalated. I was brushing my teeth, trying to ignore it all, when I heard the back doorknob jiggle. Then came the knocking again, and this time, it wasn't pretending to be my dad. "Jeremy, let me wear your skin." I dropped my toothbrush. The voice was flat, broken, like vocal cords scraped with gravel. "Let me wear your face." I backed into the hallway. Then it started laughing, high, wheezy, and wrong. Then silence. I slept in the bathtub with the door locked. This morning, I called Grandma from the hospital. I told her everything. She didn't sound surprised. Just said, "Jeremy, did you speak to it?" I hesitated. She sighed. "It knows you now. It won't stop coming." Then she told me what to do tonight. It's midnight now. I'm sitting by the back door, shotgun loaded. A line of white ash across the windows. There's a silver mirror facing the door. Grandma said skinwalkers hate to see themselves. It's 1:01 a.m. Silence. Then 3 knocks. Not on the door this time. From inside the kitchen pantry. It's already in. I'm not going to survive this. But if you find this recording, do one thing. Don't ever answer the knock. They say it walks on the roof before it chooses you. It starts with footsteps, then scratching, then your name. By the time you look up, it's already too late. I wish I had believed my grandmother when she told us that as kids. I thought it was just her way of scaring us into sleeping early. I didn't believe in skinwalkers. Until last week. Now I don't sleep at all. I moved back to Gallup to take care of my younger brother, Eli. He's 14. Smart kid, but quiet. Mom died last winter, and Dad took off when we were younger. So it was just us. Our home is a small trailer on the edge of the reservation. No close neighbors. Nothing but empty desert and scrub for miles. The first night I got back, I noticed something weird. There were dried footprints on the roof, like bare feet, but long, clawed toes. Eli just shrugged. "They've always been there," he said. "Weird, huh?" Weird didn't begin to cover it. That night, I couldn't sleep. The desert wind rattled the trailer walls. I scrolled through my phone until around 2 a.m. Then I heard it. Soft footsteps on the roof. They paced back and forth. Slow, deliberate. I froze. Thought maybe it was just a raccoon. Or a coyote. Then it stopped. And I heard it whisper, "Carla." My heart slammed against my ribs. It sounded like my mom. But Mom's been gone 8 months. Let me in, Mija. I sat frozen, gripping the edge of the bed. Then it scratched above my head. 5 long, dragging claws. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Next morning, I asked Eli if he heard it. He just looked at me blankly and said, "Don't answer it." Then he went back to his cereal like it was nothing. That's when I noticed his eyes were bloodshot. Dark circles. He hadn't been sleeping. I checked his phone. His last searches? Skinwalker roof rules. What happens if you talk back? Is whistling at night dangerous in New Mexico? He knew, and he didn't tell me. Night 2 was worse. The footsteps returned. But this time, I heard something crawl down the side of the trailer, its nails dragging against the aluminum. Then a knock on the window. Soft, repetitive. I stayed in bed. Then my mom's voice again. "It's okay, baby. You can come outside. I'm not mad about the fire." That broke me, because no one else knew. When I was 12, I accidentally started a kitchen fire. Mom told me never to tell Dad. She kept that secret. No one could have known, unless they were in my head. I whispered, "You're not her." And everything went quiet, until the voice shifted. Deeper, crooked. "That's right. She's gone. But you'll be next." Then silence. I cried into my pillow the rest of the night. Day 3. Eli finally opened up. He said it started 2 weeks ago, when he heard whistling at night. He whistled back. "Just to see," he said. After that, it started visiting. First footsteps, then voices, then shadows on the ceiling at night. He hadn't slept more than 20 minutes in days. Said the Skinwalker was getting closer each night. It only needs one of us to let it in. That night, I locked every window, lit sage, drew white chalk lines on the door, and set a mirror by the window. Then I held Eli close and told him not to respond no matter what it said. At 1:47 a.m., it returned. This time, the entire trailer shook. Boom, boom, boom. It was stomping, hard, like it was angry. Then came the whispering. "Eli, Carla, let me in. You're so tired. Just open the door." Eli buried his head in my chest. Then something even worse. The voice started laughing. It wasn't human. It was guttural, twisted, like bones cracking mid-laugh. Then something leaped off the roof. We heard it land just outside the front steps. Then a loud dragging sound, like it was circling the trailer. We didn't move, not even when it scratched the door. Then it said one final thing. "One of you will open the door." Eventually. Then it was gone. The next morning, there were deep claw marks down the entire side of the trailer. But no footprints. Not even one. I'm writing this now at a motel in town. I couldn't take another night. But Eli says he still hears it, even here. And last night, I heard it too. From the roof above room 108. 3 footsteps. Then, Carla.